Hello guys, so this is my second video in the series named Python Basics. So in this video we'll be learning about loops. The previous video we have seen about print statements and conditional statements in Python. If you didn't saw those videos, I'll put the link in the description. You just go and watch those videos, okay? So in this video we'll be looking at the loops, and also I'll be teaching you how to write the commands in Python. And I'll be also saying what is comment, okay? So no problem with that. So let's get started, okay? Okay, so I'm using the same Python, the community version. Community version is the free version. It's just sufficient for us people. So there are two loops in Python. Those are for and while loops, okay? So for is one loop and while is another loop. So these are the two loops we'll be using in Python. So first we'll be discussing about for loop, okay? Loops is nothing but it's like some operation is some task is operated for many times. That is known as loop. You know, like loop is nothing but a circle, right? So a particular task will be happening for more and more times. That is nothing but loop. Okay. So first we'll be looking at for loop. So in for loop, you should know mainly the range function. Okay. So this is a function. Okay. So what is this range function doing is, if you write range of 0, 4, the values will be 0, 1, 2, 3. I hope you understood. Okay, so if you write range of 0, 4, the values will be generated. Those values are 0, 1, 2, 3. And if you write range of 0, 5, the values will be 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so this is the first number, and this is the starting number, and this is the nth number. So the value will be generated up to n minus 1. Suppose if we want to write from 1 to 5 means, I will just write 0, 1 come here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 will be printed in this screen. Okay, so this is the range function doing, and you can just simply write a single number as the range function. What this range of 5, what it will do is, it will generate from 0 till n minus 1. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 will be generated. Suppose I need to skip some numbers, then you can just do like this. For example, if I write 1, 3, 1, 2, 5 and 2. Okay, so 1 minute guys. Okay, fine. So in this statement, what you'll be doing is, first range of 1 comma 5 comma 2. Here 1 is the starting point, 5 is the ending point, and 2 is the number of places is gonna skip. So what will be the output of this particular statement is 1. Okay, 1 comma, and after 2 places the number should be printed. Okay, that's what this 2 here means. Okay, it's like strip, it gonna skip values. So 1, 3 and 5 won't be printed in the screen because the last value is 5. So it should be printed up to n minus 1. 4 is not possible, so it will stop till 3. So this is the values will be displayed for range of 1 comma 5 comma 2. Okay, fine. So this is the range function, right? So in for loop we'll be using this function very frequently. For example, now I what gonna see is, now we gonna print 10 to 1, or just first 1 to 10, 1 to 10 using for loop. Okay, so we're gonna print from 1 to 10 using for loop. How are we gonna print? First, the for is used. For, you can keep any variable. Frequently we'll be using I. You can just keep any variable. For I in range of 1 comma 10. Okay, wait, you need 10. Okay, so you should put 11. Okay, if you put 10, then you'll be getting up to 9 only. So if you want 10, you should put 11. Okay, okay. So for I in range of 1 comma 11, what it will be doing is, for every iteration this I value changes. For example, if I wait a minute, I'll write print statement. and I will explain. Don't. Okay. So what this code doing is first iteration. What is meant by iteration is the cycle. Whether first iteration means the first run of that loop. The second iteration means the second run of the loops. Okay. The run is nothing but the iteration. Okay. So see here for eigenrange of 1 comma 11, what this is doing is for eigenrange. So first this one value will be getting inside the I, so that will be printed. So 1 will be printed. Again the control moves into this for loop. So 1 is printed, right? Then the value will be 2. So this 2 will be get into this I and again print I. So 2 will be printed and then the control moves here. So now 3. So this 3 is getting into this I and print 3. So 3 will be printed. So the cycle goes on until print 10. Okay. Then 10 will, after 9, yeah, there will be value 10, right? So 10 will be getting into this I and I will be printing that 10. So 10 will be printed. And if I go back here, so that's it. This is the last number, right? 11 won't be coming in this range. Okay. So then the loop terminates. So we'll be getting the numbers from 1 to 10. Okay. So I'm just running this code. Wait a minute. Actually, this is in this file. Okay. So if you want to run the new file, you just right click here. Just right click. Wait a minute. Just right click and just run. Okay. So I'm just getting from 1 to 10. See here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So this is the way we can use the for loop. For example, if we want from reverse, okay, if we want like from 10 to 1, I need to print. How we can print? You can just write 11 here or just 10 and I need 1, right? So just write 0 and minus 1. Okay. So from 10 to 1 will be printed here. See here. Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7 up to 1 will be printed. What this minus 1 indicates is I need to go in the reverse direction. That's what this minus 1 indicates, and this is starting point. Okay, so 0. So from 10 to 0, the number will be goes excluding the 0, and minus 1 indicates it need to be going to the reverse direction. Okay, this is about the for loop, and that's this enough. In the future videos, while we are solving more real case problems, more competitive problems, we'll be using this for loop. In that particular time, you'll be learning more about this. Now at this particular time, this much is enough for you. Okay, this is for. Now we'll be going while. We'll be now going to solve the same problem with the help of while loop. Let me see how we solve. In while loop, there are three steps in while loop. Those are initialization, and then condition, and then updation. So there are so these are the 3 steps that we'll be using in the while loop. So the first step is initialization, the second step is condition, third is updation. Fine. Okay, so first is initialization. Okay, so first I need to initialize a value. Let I keep right I. Okay, I equal to 1. So this is assignment statement. Yeah, what it's just doing is this one value gets into this I. Okay, and I need to keep a limit while I need to print up to 10, right? So I should print up to 10. So those I values must be less than or equal to 10, right? So 1 will be printed, 2 will be printed, less than values will be printed, and also 10 will be printed. If there came 11, then this condition goes wrong. I less than or equal to 11. 11 is not less than or equal to 10, right? So this condition goes wrong. So this loop terminates. So that we'll be getting values from 1 to 10. Okay. So while I less than or equal to 10, I need to print I, right? So I need to print I. And okay. And I need to update. This is what the initialization. This is condition. And I need to update, right? Because if for the first iteration, the I value is 1 and it's going to check. Okay. I less than or equal to 10. Okay. So I will be printed. And then I need the value 2, right? So I need to increment 1. I need to increment the value. How we can do those? Simply like I plus equal to 1. In this way you can increment. This is nothing but I plus is equal to 1 is nothing but I equal to I plus 1. Okay, so the I value is 1 here, right? So this 1 will be this I value. So 1 plus 1 is I value. So I gets 2, and then the loop moves here, and again it gonna check. Okay, 2 less than equal to 10. So it will be printed, again incremented, again the value will be 3, and again the loop goes here. So it goes like a cycle up to 10. Okay, fine. So this both are same. You can just write in any way, but this is a more fancy way to write, and also the shortcut method. Okay, so let me run this code, and once again I'm explaining this. One value gets into this I, and 1 less than equal to 10. Fine. So that one value will be printed, and I am incrementing it. So the I value becomes 2, and just going to check the condition, and it's going to print it, and I value gets incremented, which is 3, and then the condition is going to check and goes on, and the last is 10. Okay, so I value when becomes 10, so I value when becomes 11, it's going to check here, this condition goes wrong, so it gets terminated. So I'll be getting only values from 1 to 10. Okay, so I'm just getting it right. See here, from 1 to 10 will be getting, and if you want to just print it in the reverse order, you can just print as I equal to 10, and in this case I need the value should be greater than 1, right? I need the value should be greater than 1, greater than or equal to 1, right? So, and same I need to print, and I need to decrement it. So write I minus equal to 1. This is as same as I equal to I minus 1. Okay, wait a minute. So this is same as I equal to I minus 1. I equal to I minus 1. You can write in any method, but I am preferring I minus equal to 1. Okay, so this code, what it is doing is first I equal to 10. So 10 value gets into this I, and it's gonna check. Okay, 10 greater than equal to 1. Okay, fine. So 10 will be printed, and it's gonna decrement. So 9, and gonna print, and 8 goes on, or 2 it goes for 0, and when this 0 goes here, 0 greater than equal to 1, no, 0 not equal to 1, and it's also not greater than 1, so this condition goes wrong, so the loop gets terminated. Okay, so I'm just running this code to show you people, and it's getting from back, right? See here, 10, 9, 8, 7 goes on up to 1. So these are the 2 loops you'll be using in Python. Okay, and I'm once again just saying you people, like, whatever I teach you, just go to the HackerRank, or HackerRank is more advanced, right? You can just go to the SoloLearn. SoloLearn app is more than sufficient for you. Whatever I'm just teaching you, just go to the SoloLearn app and do those exercises, so that you'll be getting a good grasp on my teaching. And also you can also use W3 schools. Okay, those are also good websites for you people to just write the code. Okay, so that's it for this video, and in this next video we'll be learning about functions. Okay, we'll be learning about functions and models. Okay, in the next video we'll be seeing that, and I will assure you the series consists of like 10 videos. Okay, if you follow those 10 videos, and if you practice this code, and if you practice my given problems, you'll be just exceeding this Python basics. Okay, after this Python basics, I'll be putting another series on web development in Python, which is the next step after finishing this Python basics. Okay, so thank you people, thank you for your love. So just subscribe my channel and click that bell icon. Thank you.